What is up, YouTube? And today we have the update that is coming to Epic 7 after the maintenance today. And you're going to see that this update is pretty large because they are actually not only adding an area of content, but they are removing an area of PVE content that was a staple in Epic 7 for pretty much since the start of the game. So you're going to see that the first thing that is being changed is the Trial of Constellations. Beta season is starting. It's going to start after the maintenance. It is basically going to be a season-based PvE event, kind of like Rift. There's going to be 5 different constellations and 4 different difficulty levels, going up to Perdition, which is now a level above Nightmare. And basically, 3 constellations will be showcased during the beta season, and when the regular season actually starts, you'll get all 5, and each constellation requires a team of specific elements, and you need those elements to actually start the battle. And you're going to see that every single constellation is basically a different boss. If you think about it, it really makes sense because Raid has 5 bosses, and then by having these 5 constellation bosses, you're basically having Raid available for in this area of content. And the reason why they're doing this is because they do actually plan to remove Raid, which we'll talk about in a few minutes here. But basically, you just have to go through the constellations, bring different heroes. Basically, you need to probably bring like a specific set of teams, heroes to actually clear these bosses every single cycle. And you'll be able to get this currency, which you can actually use to buy gear and Molagora. So it's very, very similar to Raid. And with this, they're actually removing Nightmare Raid. And the reason why they're doing this, I'm pretty sure, is because with Nightmare Raid, all the auto teams are just like already established, and by having this like constellation system where it rotates, they're basically forcing you to pull units on a regular basis, and you can't just have a set team. So in their mind, they probably think, oh, it's going to make the game more refreshing, you have to build new teams constantly, but also it's going to make it really hard for newer players to actually catch up. And if you recently built your Nightmare Raid teams, you're pretty screwed because I can guarantee that those specific teams won't work. Maybe some specific heroes will be used again in these constellations, but I'm pretty sure that you can't run the same team in these constellations as in Raid. Maybe you can, we'll have to see, but I think that is what they were going for. So it's going to be really bad for people who just built their teams, and it's going to make it so that you need a larger roster to actually collect this gear. Next, we have the new ML5s that are coming out, Disciplinary Prefect Aria. And basically, we did talk about it in the past. She is like an effect resist scaling bruiser, which is pretty good. Your effect resist scales with your max health, and you effect resist boost your team. You also do injuries, and you can do a ton of damage as well. So pretty cool. Not really sure if she'll be like super OP. She looks pretty niche, and you probably need really good gear on her as well. I'll probably try to pull for her. Can't guarantee I'll get her, but if I do get her, I'll test her out for you guys. If I don't, I'll just talk to you how I feel about her just from seeing her in PvP. But most likely just a PvP character. We also have Ancient Inheritance starting in 4 days, so not after the reset. You have 4 days to prepare. Make sure you guys join a guild because this is one of the best areas of content. You get a lot of gear, you get a lot of artifact charms, you get a lot of powder and leaves and stuff like that. So you definitely want to make sure that you do Ancient Inheritance and join a guild. This time around, it's Protection Set and Crit Set, which might not seem that great, but it's actually very good because, especially Protection Set, you're not really farming regularly from Rift as one of your sets. So just having one set to use on like a night is going to be very good if you're struggling against like cleave and aggressive teams. We also have the balance changes that we talked about as well in the past. Nothing too big from these changes, I'd say. The only thing is like they're making units more consistent with their chances. The only big change is like Charles. He's going to be like a health scaling bruiser that can actually lifesteal now. Doesn't require as crazy stats, and he'll be a lot more used. Definitely going to try him out because my Charles is built and ready to go. They also have some other changes, but nothing too crazy. The only big thing with this and Charles is going to be Strays' new exclusive equipment. So we have another ML5-star exclusive equipment. It's going to be Crit Chance, which is very good, and then Strays, when he actually kills a character with S3, he extends buff durations and gets an extra turn. So that's very nice, right? You can S3 into S2 and just, kind of just one-shot their entire team, and it's very easy to kill with your S3, so it's going to make it so that he's a very powerful, aggressive cleaving option if you can actually make him take his turn. And then besides that, we have Taeyu's banner, which is going to be nothing crazy, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what's coming to Epic 7, so they do plan to remove Nightmare Raid. They did say it not in like the text here, I'm pretty sure, but in the video above here. So yeah, I'm not too sure why they decided to remove it. They might as well have just kept it as well and just give us another source of gear. But, like I mentioned, I do think it's because Smilegate wants us to just pull more characters and consistently make new teams, which is very annoying. But you can see, from the comments here, the update is overall good, but please do not remove Raid or Labyrinth. I agree. And this guy said, this is where I kind of got my thoughts from after reading it. This really makes sense. Lab or like Raid has stable auto teams, and new content will require us to pull, upgrading gear heroes of it, just like the Halls of Trial revamp. It leads the game into a very pay-to-win direction. So I also agree, like Halls of Trials is so annoying because you have to keep building new characters, like random 4-star characters to do it. It's really hard for newer players to get a lot of those currencies to buy these new exclusive equipments, which are always coming out. But I think them removing Raid is very interesting, and just curious what you guys think about it. Personally, not really a big fan. I am trying out a different game, which you guys will probably see later today on my channel, and I'll probably be making more content for that, while still doing Epic 7 content, of course. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this new Trials of, or not Trials, what is it even called? Yeah, Trial of the Constellations, and like what you guys think about them removing Raid. I think it's just a pay-to-win direction and less appealing for newer players. Just curious what you guys think. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next video.